All right, joining me via Zoom. Very excited to talk to this gentleman. We've been talking kind of offline, but now we get to record it. UCLA head coach Mick Cronin, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
Yeah, like everybody else, fighting through it. Just got to keep staying positive, buddy. Right? Just trying to keep my guys positive. They're my team's raring to get back on campus and in our gym, and I'm working on that with as much as I can with our administration. So that's where we're at UCLA.
And before we get to UCLA, I actually wanted to ask you about Mick Cronin, because you don't strike me as a guy that's great at sitting around and Netflix and chill. I don't know if you even know what that means. How have you found the balance of, I remember speaking with you, texting with you at the beginning of this, and you were staying sane, hitting golf balls, doing what we all did. What have you been up to? How are you holding up? And we'll get to your team here in a minute.
Yeah, you know what? I think for me, I turned my garage into a gym, so that's been you got to try to turn negatives into positives.
Sure.
Somehow. I think my friend Buzz Williams said, you got to play offense instead of defense on things in your life. Instead of letting the situation dictate you, you got to dictate the situation. So just been trying to do that with things that I needed to get done in my personal life. And I think for all of us, our health is at least for, I know a lot of guys from a men's standpoint that we tend to put our job first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth, and then everything else 10th. So just trying to do a better job with that stuff where you have an opportunity. But it's harder for the young people. My daughter's an only child, so that's been tough. As you know here, buddy, in California, people take it serious for the most part. So parents especially. So her limited opportunities to socialize, and so her mom and I trying to help her through that. But that's the world I live in. This is just one more Zoom call. I know one thing, people say Zoom's going to take over the world. When this is over, I never want to Zoom again.
Well, I had been wanting to get you on, and I was hoping we could do it in person. So I promise next time we do this, it'll be in person. Real quick, by the way, for the people who are watching on Zoom, I see a little goatee growing in. Is that going to be an in-season goatee too? Have we made that decision yet?
No, that's just I just haven't shaved. You just forget you just shave. I see some guys with the beards. It's too much for me. I'm just down to I do it all once a week.
Okay. Very good.
Once a week, whack, bang, knock it all out one time,
All right. Well, let's talk about your team. You mentioned your guys itching to get back. The big news obviously came earlier this week. We're recording on Thursday. This will run about a week after your leading scorer, Chris Smith, announces that he's coming back. Where were you? How did you find out the news from Chris or his family, or did you find out on social media? How did you find out that your leading scorer is coming back to UCLA for his senior season?
I told Chris a long time ago, whatever you do, you need to be all in. And if you're not all in, you can't go to the NBA, because the one thing the young guys don't understand is how hard it is until they get there. They have no idea how hard it is to play professional ball in Europe at any level until they get there, because they've only played against their age group. So, that was my message to him all the way. It's not college basketball. There's no funsies. There's no coaches that really care about you as a person. It's a cutthroat business, and I've had a great player, Sean Kilpatrick's averaging 17 a game had a game with 36, scores the last 10 in a row to win games for the Brooklyn Nets. Kenny Atkinson loves him. Next thing you know, first round picks get healthy and he's cut. And Kenny Atkinson's crying, telling him about it. And it's just, that's the NBA. Gary Clark shared that with my team last summer when he was in LA visiting, working out with Russell Westbrook. I had him talk to the Bruins, and he gave him the harsh reality of what he saw with the Rockets, and how many guys started the season with their team, and only 7 finished. Yeah, so with Chris, his heart was always on the side of coming back. I think he, from a business standpoint, if it would have been the right move for him 100% to go to the NBA, he didn't want to make a mistake on that side. But his heart was always in coming back, so didn't surprise me. Personally, I look forward to just being around him. Great guy, just a great guy. He deals with me well as a head coach. He's a great. We do great together. He needs my intensity, and I need his smile. So we balance each other really well. He's a great guy. So, and he's obviously for our team, the prospects of our season. It's huge when you can get a first team all-league player to return. But I based a lot of this, a while ago, Aaron. I want to coach guys I like. I believe that when that's the case and you get good people, you're going to win more games. So that's what when I think of him, that's what I think of. Everybody said, you on the outside, it's, statistical, but for me, he's a great guy. I really, I enjoy being around him.
Well, you said you need each other. I thought it was a good sign. You had a birthday a few weeks ago. I saw on his Instagram, he said, "Happy birthday to the GOAT," and it was a picture of you. Would he have said that after a couple practices in the fall last year?
That, he might have, Aaron, because that's him. He deals with me well.
Okay.
He deals with me well. So, some guys you have to change your delivery. He likes it. He's very, he understands that it's coaching, and that you're trying. He's been told that he needs to, stay intense and be he's such a good person off the floor. We're the yin and yang for each other. So yeah, he might have. He's a great kid. So great parents. So that obviously was a huge positive for us.
All right, so you said you need to handle everybody differently. I want to talk about this coming season. I want to reflect back on last year. You guys start 8-9, struggle, new coach, whatever. And I went back and I had forgotten about this until I saw it as I was prepping to talk to you. You lose to Stanford on a Thursday night to go 8-9. This is on the record here. This is you in the press conference. The exact quote was, "As the game goes on, our softness shows up. Our selfishness at times is evident on the offensive end. We have guys that just refuse to listen and follow orders, so they don't get to play. I had to keep playing certain guys that I don't think deserve to play." Whether you said the same thing privately or whether it was publicly, it worked. You won 11 of your last 14, but since you are referencing, having to coach different guys differently and stuff, I thought about that. And I thought it'd be an appropriate time. I want to talk about the end of last season and prepping for this year. What was going through your mind as you walked to the press conference that night against Stanford after you lost to fall to 8-9?
Well, that's not the first time those guys have heard that.
Okay.
I can promise you that. I'm brutally honest with my players at all times. I think that they need honesty. I think that they don't. In fact, I know they don't get it enough. Because I think people are too concerned with making young people happy instead of training them for success. I spell love and discipline the same way. And that's a whole nother topic. I always use the term like, little Johnny, little Johnny doesn't need a trophy for 8th place, but little Johnny, he needs to learn that hard work will make him better. It's, you can tell him and I'm not saying you got to be ruthless with little kids, but it's gone so ridiculous of where we're so concerned that young players are always going to look to transfer. So people are afraid to coach their players. I think you do the right thing. I got that from, my father always did the right thing. Doing the right thing is trying to prepare your players for life. And basketball, that's where, extracurricular activities were to build character. They were to add, they were to build things that were going to help young people. That's why it all started. I think, I'm amongst the group that's going to go down swinging, holding on to that's what it's about. And even for the pro guys, they got to learn it's a business, so I think that whatever happened in that press conference, I can tell you, I'm a big believer in protecting my players because, I'm very demanding on them, as I think you should be. As, I think all players, Skip Prosser he was always a great quoter of poets and literary people. He said, your chief want in life should be someone that'll make you your best. And I think that's your job as a coach. But therefore, but I always protect the guys. But I know I told him in that case, I'm done protecting you. I'm trying, I thought, coming in through all of my outreach, which was 6 months of outreach after I got the job every day. There was you're trying to get a positive vibe for your team and your players, and you try to defend them. But I just basically told them, look, enough's enough. I'm going to I'm telling everybody the truth. I've been protecting you. I'm not protecting you anymore. Because that's just where we're at. So I think, what, Aaron, in coaching, hey, that didn't cause us a turnaround. We stopped turning the ball over. Tiger got experience. We were playing all freshmen and sophomores, and Tiger and Dave they weren't with us the entire offseason. They were our starting backcourt eventually. Jaime's a freshman, developed into a great player for us. Chris averaged 3 a game in the Pac-12. He became a first-team all-league player. So guys improved. We really worked hard. I got a great coaching staff. And we just, guys, how do players get better? Well, they do more positive things and they eliminate negative things. And that's training. That's practice. And for us, it just wasn't manifesting itself enough in the games. We weren't we weren't tough enough, and that's just a fact. At times our mind was on things. It's hard that didn't have to do with winning, and it's really hard to win one game. I think that's what people don't understand out there. And then high major basketball and Pac-12 had 6-7 tournament teams last year. You got a guy like 2 guys. I'll just mention 2 guys. You got Mark Fox, completely turns Cal around. They're hard to play against. They beat Stanford 20 in the Pac-12 tournament. They're towards the bottom of the league or wherever they were. Washington State's got a guy in the draft. Kyle Smith's a great coach. And you got Washington at the bottom of the league with 2 first-round draft picks. So it's just, we had a really good league, and we were not going to win until we started to play 40 minutes of winning basketball. And then you give yourself a chance to win. Still doesn't guarantee victory. So it was just a process. Our guys had to learn. It was going to be hard. It was going to be really hard. So, at some point that, a decision had to be made. And, you're either going to do what we need to do or you don't need to be here.
So you win 11 of your final 14. Was there a moment, obviously you said it wasn't that specific press conference, but was there a moment where you said these guys are starting to get it? You won at Arizona, you won at McHale Center, you had a great win against Arizona State late in the, where did you feel like, okay, they're starting to get what it takes to be successful night in and night out?
I had a lot of respect for Colorado, veteran team.
Sure.
Great coach. When we were able to have success against them at home, I think that somewhere around the start of that run, I think that gave each game builds your confidence. Yeah. Each game, then you're able to. We were able to pull a tight one out at Oregon State against, a veteran team, that had played together for a long time. And, I think they got the lead. I don't know if Trey's broke the scoring record at Oregon State, but I mean, you might have the all-time leading scorer at Oregon State on the team as a senior. Very, very good team, very good coach. And to be able to go in there and get a win, that was big. But so, I think it's just our momentum built, as the year went on, our momentum built.
Very good. I know you got to run here. Just a few quick questions. One, a lot of excitement off of last year. Now, for people who don't know, I believe it was 7 of your top 8 guys are back. I know you actually, frankly, haven't, I don't believe, had the chance to actually get them back, as you referenced. How do you balance, you're really excited about how things ended, but you also were starting fresh, it's a new group, and we got to focus on what's ahead?
Yeah, it's just this, I think you got to stay positive, say you signed Johnny Juzang and without a visit, and he lives 3 miles from me.
Sure. Have you met him face to face yet? Have you had the chance, or is not available?
No, I mean,
wow.
It's crazy. So, we talk a lot. He's a great guy. I've gotten to know him and his dad really well. So Johnny's, I told him, I'm back in training, so he doesn't eat meat. So, he's going to get me on the best sushi spot. So, I'm excited about that. He's going to get me, he's given me all the right tips as far as, he's going to get me into sushi. So, but yeah, it's just weird. It's just, again, Aaron, I will say this, it's just very unfortunate to me, the way I look at this, for all young people. And in our world, young athletes, and obviously directly basketball, that they have to go through this because they get a very short window to chase their dreams. And it's just so tragic for them. And just, look, the virus has killed people. So there's levels of tragedy, right? But it's tragic in our world for these young people to have to deal with this.
Yep.
Forget hanging out with me. Johnny wants to hang out with his new teammates.
Yep.
And probably, he knows some of them because he's just, he's a SoCal guy. So he knows those guys. But still, just to develop your togetherness. So just the whole thing's weird, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, but I think you kind of just hit on it. Any word on when your guys will be back? For people who don't know, some schools have had their guys back on campus. I believe by law you can't, or something to that effect, maybe not have them in the gym. Any word on when you'll be able to get them back and just get back to some sense of normalcy?
Well, I'll get, breaking news, I'm pressing on it. Our guys have asked me to press forward. Back in June, when we were starting summer school, I didn't think, I thought we need to see how this goes for other people. It's gone pretty well for a lot of people with the protocols in place. And now I'm at a point where my players have had enough. Some of their parents have had enough. Sure. They want them out of their house.
Yeah.
Jalen Hill's parents tell me you got to get him out of here. He eats too much. He's a lot bigger than he was in high school. And he's working out 2 times a day. For our guys, I think I've gotten mentally to the point where early it was, is that the right thing to do, to where now I'm a believer, and my message to UCLA is for safety precautions. I think it's better for them to be with us. Yep. Because they're working out in random gyms, whether they're sneaking in, people are letting them in, whether they're in Ventura or Riverside or Orange County, wherever they're going. And they're going to be a lot safer in our gym or in Andy Enfield's or Mark Fox's or Jared Haas's. They're going to be a lot safer. If they're in a gym where only 3-4 coaches and 13 players and the trainer, you get 20 people, the only people that are going to go in that gym, it's not a 24-hour fitness.
Yep.
So I'm giving you my argument that I'm starting to go down that road. And for the safety of our players, that we do that because look, to think that they're not doing it is very false. And their mental health, they're starting to see that they're losing out. You know, when they see all these other schools across the country, what they're doing, you know, as you know, the current players got friends. They went to camp together. They played at AU together. They could all play for the Compton Magic, you know, and they got guys all over the Pac-12. So they know what other schools are doing. And so I'm a guy, you know, I'm taking my players' message back to our administration. And I just think for safety reasons, I believe in my heart that they're going to be a lot safer being tested under protocols in our gym than they are in the way they're doing it now.
Very good, Coach. I'll let you go. I know you got to run. I want to end on a positive note. Just you excited? You're going to get them back at some point. You just excited to have your guys back in that gym because there is a lot of excitement around the program. I don't want to end on a down note, and I know you're fired up about getting those guys back and what the potential of 2021 is. Yeah,
you know, excited. You know, I think at the end of the day, you know, I think a lot is made that coaches make all this money and whatever. It's just. I've gone through the mental process this summer, you know, of the whole viral thing. And it's, you know, my thing is my job is to advocate for my players.
Sure.
You know, they're excited. They're excited about our season. But the difference is, you know, that if you're fortunate and you win enough games, I could coach 20 more years. They can't play 20 more years. So, yeah, I'm excited. They're excited. But my mindset is, look, you know, their time is short. You know, yeah. Chris Smith made this decision, and you know, it's fired all of his teammates up because they understand that's big for us, and they love him, and it's momentum for us. So you know, hopefully we'll all get started. You know, but again, like I said, Aaron, man, you hope for all, you know, just everybody that vaccines coming quick. Things can get turned around, man. We can get back out. And, you know, look at both of us, man. We're not out enough. You know, we don't have. You know, we need some tan, man. We need to get out more.
I don't mean to rub it in your face. I can't get a haircut. Look at this. I mean, I'm not trying to. You know, I know everyone. You know, whatever. But my hair is a disaster right now. So, anyway, man,
I'm going to give you this one, buddy. You need to. We got some bad hairdos on our Zoom call the other night. You know, Jaime, I'm telling you, my man Jaime, I think he hasn't had a haircut in a month, probably 2 months.
See, these are the things that nobody talks about with these issues. The black market haircuts that are going on behind the scenes that nobody knows about. Mick Cronin, head coach, UCLA. Coach, we've been trying to do this. I so appreciate the time. I know you got other calls and stuff lined up for this afternoon. Thank you, and we'll speak again soon.
It's good to catch up, buddy.